Okay guys, so we'll be starting now. So welcome to the annual general meeting of the 20th Management Committee of NAS Students Computing Club. So this will be a session where all the vice presidents and cells will give a report on what they did the past year. So we'll start this with the student development.
And all presentations will be followed by a 5 minutes Q&A. So in case if there is 1 minute of silence, means no one is going to raise any questions. I will need someone to propose to close the Q&A session so we can move on. Okay? So now moving on to some rules to follow safety. Only one person is supposed to speak at any point of time. Let's welcome a cat first.
Hi guys, I'm Ian, director of CAT. So I guess I'll be presenting the slides for CAT today. So I'll first start with the roles and responsibilities of CAT. So mainly we try to promote the academic interests and facilitate the academic pursuits of students. And we also try to be a bridge between the student population and the school with regards to academic pursuits. So we started planning for 1010S, which is our first event hub. So probably have attended this before long, which means to say like the stress, the environment, get a feel of the keyboard, concepts that they can engage with. You'll be actually catered for the helpers, including the tutors, of course. And as you can see, this is the conclusion for the event. So through our survey, we found out that most students found the mock PE useful in helping them prepare for the exam. And the concepts tested in the mock PE is relevant to what they have learned, and that they feel that this event should be continued in the future. So our next event, winter workshops, this was actually done in winter, as you can guess, around December. So the aim is kind of like because in the first semester, right, what the languages the students are exposed to for is mainly not Java. So Java is only exposed to the IS students mainly. Then the other courses, they take different languages. So there's like C, JavaScript, and Python, but for the major part of the student body, they don't learn Java. But the thing is that for the upcoming semester, right, they have to take either 1020 or 2010 or 2030 or 2040, and all these are taught in Java. So some of them are not used to the language, and then this kind of aims to provide them a crash course on how to familiarize themselves with the language. So we had 4 workshops total on 2 days. So we had 3 for Java and 1 for C++. Yeah, wait, I forgot to mention, it's not just Java, there's C++ as well. For 2040C actually. So participants attended one of the workshops depending on their major. Then, as I mentioned earlier, it tries to prepare students for their upcoming modules in SOC. So we try and introduce Java and C++, introduce OOP, how to use it. Yeah, so this one it was actually conducted by Dinesh and Erin. For winter workshops, again, we had a budget allocated for food for the helpers. And the attendance rate is high, it's 80%, it's pretty high. So from our review, we found that most participants found this event useful. But there was some feedback that the take-home materials can be designed for participants to better digest the information, and that some of the topics covered were overwhelming. So we can either reduce the amount covered or extend the duration of the workshop. But the thing is that from our observation, there are like students, they go at different pace. So on one extreme, we have students that have a lot of experience, then they progress very fast. Whereas there are some students, right, that have relatively less experience and they need more time to take. They need more time to get used to learning new languages. So it's kind of hard to cater for everyone. Yeah. So I guess for the future MC, they should see what kind of students they are trying to target and kind of like adjust the content accordingly. Then our third event is a students' online networking session. So this is at the start of the year. It's organized by Ingnan and Robin, our ex-CAT director. So the aim is to bring together undergraduates and students in thinking and discussing about their prospective career paths. So actually this event, right, is the first time that CAT is hosting this event this year. Previously it was hosted by the AR cell. Yeah. So it tries to provide a platform for students to raise career-related questions to alumni. It's basically a networking session as named regular between SOCs, undergrads, and the alumni. So I think, yeah. Next. Yeah, so most of the participants found this event useful. Then most participants also found that the alumni were able to share very prospective insights in the various industries. So you can look at participant distribution as 58% student, 42% alumni. So for this event, actually, we didn't expect so many alumni to turn out. We agreed with CAA that there will only be around 30 alumni, and we're quite grateful they got such a large number. But on that day, we were quite surprised that we had 40 plus 50 alumni that came down. Then the alumni to student ratio was a bit high on that day. Whereas for the students, right, the people who actually came among those who signed up wasn't as high as we expected. So yeah, that's one area of improvement that we can look into. Then we probably should have started publicizing early and involving CA as well to kind of tweak the things that we can do for this event. So Academic Day, our latest event that was held 1 month ago, in July, 3 weeks ago, sorry. So Acad Day 2018. So far for this, right, this event has been our biggest event in terms of turnout rate. We had 533 participants. So this is more than all of the events in the previous few years so far. So the aim of Acad Day is to kickstart the learning journey of incoming freshmen. So we're trying to do this by providing them with academic essentials. So things like how to use IDLE, how to use CORS, how to use MyISIS, how to bid for modules, NUS mods, things like that. And then in the afternoon, we also have senior sharing sessions by seniors according to major. So this would give an accurate representation of what seniors have taught in the courses of study, what they think is interesting, what they think is bad, tips and tricks, things like that. So actually for the senior sharing session, we try to advocate that don't try and give a blanketed censored answer, just try and give as clear and as honest opinion as you can. Yeah. So for our budget, it's slightly different. Of course, we again have budget for the helpers for their help in this, and then we also had budget allocated for dog gifts. So initially, we had a plan to come out with a goodie bag, but the thing is that the sign-up rate increases a lot throughout our planning phase. So at the start, we only expected 400 people to sign up. Then after that, the UG office told us that the estimate for the intake increased again to 600 or 800. And then after that, it became 1,000. So by then, most of the marketing things were already done. So we really requested the things from the marketing cell, from NOC. So some of our items was only fixed at 400, which means that some students couldn't really get a dog gift if they were to appear. So around 1 or 2 weeks before the actual event, our sign-up actually reached more than 400. We had 700 plus sign-ups. So after some discussion, we decided that we should use the budget to purchase pens as dog gifts, so that everyone at least gets something from out of it. Yeah. So participation rate is pretty high, 70% of those who sign up. Then from our feedback, the freshmen felt that the session was informative, but we could have had more booths, for example, computing club booths by majors, CS, DA, IS, CUG. And this event should be continued in the future. We also could have extended the duration for senior sharing session. So actually for the senior sharing session, right, we booked the venue for the whole day, I think, to 5 p.m., whereas some of the sessions was only kind of scheduled to end at 3. So actually you could have just told the seniors that if you guys want, you guys can just leave here for Q&A until 5 p.m. or so. But I think there was some miscommunication and we didn't get that message through. Yeah. Next please. Right, so those are our events. Then overall, the challenges we have faced is there were changes in syllabus, most notably 2030, 2040, and the 1020, 2010 kind of path of programming mods to take. So some of us are familiar with the new syllabus as none of us has gone through it. So this is especially important for winter workshops where we don't have a clear idea of what to expect. And for winter workshops this year, when we plan it, 2030 and 2040 would have been held for the first time. Yeah, so there was a bit of discussion on what we should include, what we shouldn't include. And then, of course, there's a significant increase in intake. So as I mentioned earlier, the intake estimate went from like 600 to 800 and then to 1,000. So it's a bit hard to plan the events because of this, this kind of like rapidly increasing intake. And then manpower support. So fortunately for our project, right, we had subcom members who are active enough to volunteer as PDs or VPDs, and we're quite thankful for that. But for throughout all our events, we've had some difficulties looking for helpers to like actually man the event. So one example is for CAT Day. Actually, for the morning session, the PD, VPDs, and I were like thinking of just banking on the box ourselves, which was quite impossible, yeah. So yeah, that's one thing to do. Next is. So in conclusion, initially I had a plan to kind of like encourage students to actively step up to organize and lead projects, but yeah, we didn't really get that to happen. So I think as a suggestion, the next MC should try to actively come up with projects and assign them to students instead. So special thanks to, of course, our student body for support in our events. We have had our attendance rate so far has been quite high across our events so far. And of course the PDs and VPDs are stepping up to plan and execute the event. And the 20th MC for wonderful collaborations, especially with Publicity, FOP, and marketing. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for Aaron's presentation. Now we'll start the Q&A session for a CAT. So any questions from the floor? And 1 second. Thank you, Yuan.
Thanks.
Now we'll invite the next director on stage.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Wei Li and I'm the Comm Service Director. Yeah, so today I'll just share with you all the events that we have done for the past 2 semesters. So this year was actually created last year. The main idea of this role is to like promote the culture of giving among computing students and also like provide a platform for them to give back to society. So the past 2 events we had was mainly targeted towards FLAG. So we actually had fundraising sales for our beneficiary from the Garden School. We actually sold donuts during the 2nd semester. Yeah, followed by 2 beneficiary engagement sessions that happened during the summer, followed by Flag Day, where we actually go around Singapore to ask for donations from the public. And we also had the Red and Flag Carnival, which happened on the same day as Red Day, where we actually sold ice lollies, and also we had this photo with mascot service to raise funds. Yeah. And we have one more event, charity run, which is ongoing. Okay, so for one of our events, we actually had this volunteer recruitment thing, where like we act as a bridge between the professors and students. So whenever the professors have any like CIP events, we actually help to do email blasts to recruit volunteers. Yeah. So one of the event was a Code for Community, which was done by Prof. Bimlesh. So they had things like flying drones project, yeah, and some dog and dance project. Yeah, so we just help to recruit volunteers, which actually gives students the opportunity to take part in like this kind of CIP events and just like promote this culture of giving SOC. Okay, so FLAG, as I mentioned just now, we had 4 different types of events. So I'll just go into details. Yeah, so for the donut sales, we actually had a very good response. So we had 2 events, one on 3rd April and one on 4th April. So we actually managed to sold out the donuts quite quickly, and we managed to raise about $552 over the 2 days. Yeah, so I recommend like the next next director to actually have more of such fundraising events during the semester, yeah, and raise more funds so that we can actually like increase like our rec score. Okay, so for the beneficiary engagement days, we did about the same thing last year. We planned a few activities for the students, and then the student volunteers will come down and play the station game with the kids and interact with them. And I think it's a good event that should be carried on because actually like help the student volunteers to realize help the students realize like who they're actually flagging for, which will actually make Flag Day more meaningful for them. Yeah, so for the BED, we actually had a quite high sign-up rate as well as the turn-up rate. We had about 1-to-1 ratio between the student volunteer and the students. Yeah, so for Flag Day, we actually made it compulsory this year. So we had about 347 flaggers. So I think that we should continue this. We should make it compulsory so that there'll be higher turn-up rates, which means that we'll be able to raise more money. So as you can see, this year we actually raised about 8.5K, which is higher than last year by about 1 point something K. Okay, then for our Red and Flag Carnival, actually not many people knew about this event, so I think we should have worked on the publicity. So apart from promoting our Red performance, we should have also mentioned about this Flag Carnival to them. Yeah, but our total amount raised was about $140, which was still decent. Yeah, but I think could have been more because for ice lollies, not many people actually bought it, so we had about like 1 box left. Yeah, but the photo with mascot service was a good one. We managed to raise more money from that. Okay, then for our charity run, we actually had this first initiative to have this charity run. Then the professors also wanted to do it, so we decided to collaborate with them with the 20th anniversary com to have this charity run. Yeah, so it will be held on 22nd September. The sign-ups are still available, so do come down for this charity run and show your support. Okay, so now I'll just conclude. So the main challenges we faced was like we do not know how people will react to this new initiative because there never been any like community service projects going on in SOC. But we were quite surprised to see that there's actually many volunteers that have been asking us, oh, when will there be new community service project coming up? So we can see that they are actually quite interested in volunteering for such things. So for the next director, I hope that like he or she will actually go and source for more projects so that the volunteers will have the opportunity to take part in these com service projects. Yeah. Okay, so for this year's flag, the participation was very high for BED and for Flag Day because the freshmen were more active this year, which is a good thing. I hope you'll continue this way. Okay, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Wei. So now we'll start the Q&A session for community service. Any questions from the floor?
Rebecca, IS request to close the Q&A session. Is it?
Yeah. Union for CS, okay. Union for CS, I want to ask you, since this is the first year of this wing, right, this SCS wing, do you have any suggestions for future directors, like any new events that you have off the top of your head right now?
Okay, because I was appointed com service director, and then they also asked me whether I wanted to run for Flag PD. Yeah, so usually I thought it's a new cell, so there won't be much commitment, so I decided to run for Flag Project Director. But then I realized that because I was too busy with the Flag Com, I realized that I couldn't oversee the other 2 projects that was ongoing within this cell. So I would suggest a director appoint a project director for Flag.
Any more questions?
4CS proposed to close Q&A.
Thank you. Now we'll invite the Vice President of Student Development on stage.
Good evening, everyone. So I will first start off with a very quick overview. My role as the VP Student Development is basically to ensure that my wing promotes the overall well-being and overall development and well-being of the club members. So throughout our term, the SD wing had a total number of 14 events and initiatives with an total outreach of more than 1,000 students. The ACAD itself spent a total of $1,314.38, while the Conservice cell spent $374.27. And since both of my wings don't really have any income, the net deficit for the SD wing is $1,688.65. I will now go more in depth into each cell. So for the academic liaison cell, they had a total number of 7 events, spending a total of $1,314.38 with an outreach of 1,000 students. However, we found out that most of the events planned by the academic liaison cell are mainly targeting freshmen. So we feel that perhaps more can be done for the seniors, such as introducing industry or company visits and organizing workshops on topics that might interest the student population, such as machine learning. As for the Com Service cell, they organized a total of 6 events, spending $374. But we feel that since it's a very new cell, it has a lot of opportunities to grow and perhaps more initiatives could be introduced, such as encouraging students to step up, to take part in service learning projects, to introduce new projects that they are interested in, as well as IT-related projects that might be of more interest to computing students. Okay, so before I end off, I would like to thank a few people. First, is to thank the P-Cell, Joel Lim, Joel Sim, Kian Lee, and the Gen Sex, Yu Xuan and Chi Xiang, for all their help and guidance throughout my term, and the SD Wing, my directors Yi Yuan and Wei Li, and my deputy directors Jun Ru and Gabriel, for working hard, for being responsible for all their events and working hard to make the events a success. I would also like to thank Joel Lim for believing in me and encouraging me to run for MC. Without him, I really don't think I will ever step up and run for this. Lastly, I would like to thank the advisors for their valuable advice and support for all our events. Joining the MC really gave me a lot of new opportunities and helped me grow in many ways. I truly enjoyed my term and I do not regret running at the start of last year. Thank you everyone for making it such a wonderful experience for me. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Now we'll start the Q&A session for the Vice President. Any questions from the floor?
Union 4CS proposed to close Q&A.
Lawrence, year 2, IS.
Second.
Thank you. Now we'll invite the internal wing, the sports cell director, onto the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shannon, the sports director. So today I'll be presenting to you what SportCell did for the past 2 semesters. So basically the roles and responsibilities of the SportCell is to be the ex-official chairpersons of the sports committee and then oversee the promotion of health and fitness of club members, be the point of contact to sports club, especially for IFG, and then lastly oversee the club's participation in the inter-faculty games. Yeah, so these are the events we did. So firstly we had sports camp during the winter break, and then we had a few ad hoc recreation sessions, and as well as sports day for both FSC and FAL, and then lastly the ongoing event, which is IFG. So for sports camp, the objective of this is to promote healthy living for computing students who mostly sit and do work without much movement, and then also to encourage team bonding for those who miss or are unable to attend FOP camps, and then also provide stress relief before the start of semester 2, as well as expose them to sports which are different from the norm. So the date of this camp was from 8 to 10th January, and then the number of actual participants was 49. So these are the activities we had for sports camp, which was quite different from last year. Firstly, we had capture the flag, and then we had laser tag, and station games, night cycling, and high elements. So this is the budget versus expenditure. So the budget we had was 3,000, and then the net expenditure was 2,200, and then so the income is $3,755.34, and then the expenditure was $5,972.93. Okay, so I would like to thank marketing for helping us source these sponsors, which are like Happy, Look Now, Swenson's, etc. We would also like to thank Publicity for helping us take the photos and montages. So basically for the montage, right, they had one for every day, and then so at the end of the day they would show it to the participants, and then I think it was quite well received because it was like a recap for them. So we also had a survey after the sports camp. So the very first question was overall on a scale of 1 to 5, how enjoyable was the camp? And so it was quite favored by the camp participants. And then secondly, how tiring was the camp? Which was quite tiring because we had many events, activities, one after another. So then, which was the most favorite activity? Night cycling was one of them, and then followed by the team games. And then the next question is the least favorite activity, which is the laser tag, because this was because the laser tag wasn't the one whereby you go to the actual place and then you shoot with like the laser. It was like quite different because the guns didn't have the actual lasers, and then they didn't have to wear like a vest or so, because the guns were just you're supposed to shoot the guns of the other participants to like gain a point. So it was quite different from the laser tag that you usually would think of. Then the flow of the camp was just nice, and then the price of the camp was well justified as well. And then followed by the reasons why they joined sports camp. And then we also asked them for the feedback for the camp videos that Pubs did. And then lastly, what kind of videos they would prefer from Publicity. So, okay, so overall for this, right, it was quite enjoyable for the participants. But then we also realized, like during the AR, we realized that a better event compared to this sports camp maybe would be a one-day or one-night event, because we realized that the most favorite activity was actually night cycling. So instead of a full-fledged camp, the next sports cell can think of maybe just a one-day event. So we think the response will be better because it will definitely be cheaper and it won't be as tiring. Okay, so following, we had some ad hoc recreation sessions, dodgeball and badminton. So the dates are as above. And the objective is to bond computing students together and allow students to take a breather during the tiring semester. And the turn-ups were 20 for dodgeball and 25 for badminton. Okay, for sports day, we did both for FSC and FAL. So the main objective is to expose the freshmen to some of the sports played in IFG. so that we can recruit them. So the dates were 11th June for FSC and 29th July for FAO. And then the following are the sports played. So the ongoing event, IMG, the objective is to bond the different faculties through sports, and then also foster faculty spirit among the students of School of Computing, as well as provide them with an avenue of fun at the beginning of the A1. So the dates for this is IMG will be 16 August, which is Friday this week, and it will end on 20th September. And up to 12th August, the number of sign-ups were 263. So the budget allocated for this event was 2,250. So because we have yet to purchase everything, and then so we won't be able to come up with the expenditure. So these are the list of sports SOC is taking part in. We are not taking part in swimming, track, handball, women. So we had a few initiatives for IFG this year. So firstly, we will be having a life-size calendar on a wall in Com 1, so to heighten the mood of IFG in SOC. So it also allows easy tracking for the competition dates as well as the scores for everyone in SOC. Secondly, we have the supporters pack and incentives. So with the newly added supporter segment of IFG, we have decided to attract supporters to our games by using the above initiative. And then lastly, athletes pack as well as helpers pack to thank the athletes and helpers for their service. So for the life-size calendar, it will be at this area. So on the left is just the prototype of what it will look like. So we will be doing up this at the end of this week. Okay, so for the supporters, athletes and helpers pack, we got Sydney to design the new SOC mascots with like a ball sport, chairs, as well as a racket sport. So these are the items that will be in the packs. So for another initiative, supporters progressive rewards. So basically attendance will be taken for each game, and then the count will be reduced after an item is being exchanged for. So if a supporter supported twice, he or she can choose to exchange for a laptop sticker, which is the design above. And then 3 times would be a shoe bag, but then we only have 15 because it was the leftover shoe bag we had from 14-15 IFG. Yeah. Then lastly, the lanyard, but we only have a quantity of 50. So we'd like to thank Publicity for helping us do up the posters promptly. So on the left is just a main poster of IFG, and on the right is a description on how supporters can choose to support the events and then obtain the incentives by the number of games they support. So lastly, I'd like to thank Kerwin, my deputy, for helping me so much throughout this journey, and also myself for being so supportive. And then I also like to thank the captains because they have really taken initiative to help me, and then yeah, so they were really cooperative. And I also like to thank the MC. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you. Now we'll start the Q&A session for the sports director. Any questions from the floor?
Rebecca, IS year 2. I'd like to check with you. Just now you mentioned that you prefer the camp to be a one-night event. Does it mean that you would encourage the next director to script sports camp, or what's your idea about it?
So during the AR, what we thought was, because sports camp, if it remains as a full-fledged camp, which means 3 days 2 nights, it may be too tiring. And then I think one of the concern for the lack of participants was because it was quite expensive. Yeah, it was also one of the things we felt for this camp. So then a suggestion for the next sports cell would be maybe we should have a 1-day event or like a 1-night event, such as like night cycling, since it was quite the response was quite good. Yeah, so then in that sense we would suggest for them to scrape sports camp because the turn up was really quite low, like it was 49 compared to what we think it will be. And then if it's a night cycling event, we can try and see how the turn up would be like the following year, or else we can just bring back sports camp. Yeah.
Thank you. Any more questions from the floor?
Okay, hi guys, sorry about my voice. I'm actually like still recovering from a bad cough, so just bear with me. Okay, so I'm Ian, the welfare director for the 20th MC, and this will just be my current report now. So the role of the welfare cell for this year has been to provide again welfare for all the students in SOC and all the undergraduates mainly through multiple initiatives. And right. We also wanted to try and play a more prominent role in, the life of the student body. So we wanted to increase the number of initiatives that we had. We wanted to engage more people, like through all facets of life. So we aim to again address the main population, which is the main Singaporean population. We also try to reach out to the foreign exchange students and the foreign transfer students. Yeah. So next. So overall welfare this year, we actually undertook 5 different events, but we sort of collapsed it before because the welfare packs essentially are the same. So our first event was Halloween night. The main objectives of Halloween night was to again inject the Halloween spirit into our lives because in Singapore we don't really celebrate Halloween, so this is one of the few opportunities to get to. Right. Then we also, because this is our first event of the first event that most freshmen will look at, right? So we also wanted to introduce like what different initiatives computing could bring into their general lives. So stuff like VR gaming and to sort of garner interest in the VR field and expose students to all kinds of technologies. Right. So Right, so the budget we were given was about $234. In the end, we did manage to make $39 back, so the net expense was approximately $195.30. So after the event, we came to the conclusion, this was the first time we actually tried 3D printing. It was sort of an initiative that was brought up and we kind of just go with it. So one thing we realized was that for this short one-day event, it required way too much time and way too much planning. Essentially, because Halloween only lasted for about 4 hours, if I'm not wrong, or 6 hours. 3D printing essentially took out about 3 hours of designing and then another probably 1 hour of printing out the print in the first place. So I think that actually scared a lot of people off because it's sort of this huge design thing that they need to put in a lot of time and effort to, and people are just looking at fun here, right? So a few suggestions that we had was for those who are actually interested in it, we wanted to allocate more time, like per person to print, so that they could actually take their time instead of squeezing all their designs into the short period of like this short 4 hours that they had. Then for competitions, right, we wanted to allow submission of designs pre-event instead of on the day itself. And then after selecting the good ones, we only print those. So it sort of gives everyone a reason to try their best. Right. So another part that we had was the horror movie room. This wasn't very well received, mainly because I don't think people because this was held during a school day, so I don't think people actually had time to sit down and watch a movie. So we would probably completely eliminate it because it doesn't make sense to host a movie screening when everyone's like rushing for lessons. Then for participation rate for this event, right, it was quite low mainly because it took quite a while for us to take over, so we didn't have a lot of time to publicize Halloween properly. So that one actually on me lah. Didn't plan earlier, right? So hopefully, subsequently, we hope that once we hand over, right, we immediately tell the next welfare director to get ready to plan because it will be quite rushed, right? Yeah. So after that, it's everyone's favorite. It's the exam welfare pack. So essentially, the points for Sem 1 and Sem 2 are more or less the same, but then the reception that we received was drastically different for different reasons I'll go through. Right, so the objectives for both exam welfare packs is really just to provide practical necessities for SSC students while they're preparing for their finals. So good essentials like foolscap pads, maybe a spare pen, stuff like that. And part of it, of this exam welfare pack is also a survey. So we wanted to use this survey to get feedback on essentially everything that the MC has done so far, right? And this is the easiest way to do it. Yeah. As you can expect, it's all red. I don't need to explain why, right? So for welfare pack 1, we spent about 1.5K. Now the number of packs, this was actually determined by NUSU. They kind of pretty much just tossed a number of us without allowing us to argue. So for Sem 1, right, we only got 700 packs, and we realized that's really way too little. I think every day that we distributed, right, about 300 packs. We started about 1 p.m. and then we were done by 3 p.m. So it was really fast. This one a bit hard, but I suggest whoever takes welfare next time, right, push as hard as you can for NUSU to give you more packs from the start. Yeah. So right. So like I said, the duration, right? The welfare packs were given out really fast in Sem 1. So 2 hours, everything done already. And then so next time we were thinking, okay, make sure you have different sort of portions of welfare packs so that you can give, let's say, 150 to people from 1 to 3, and then another 150 from 3 to 5, so that at least everyone has a chance to get a welfare pack. Otherwise, this is a common problem in Sem 1. Everyone keeps rushing, and then a lot of people complain about how they're not getting their packs. Okay. So next is Sem 2. Again, same thing, same objectives, but then this time the reception was completely different. Next. So this time we spent about 3K, we got about double budget, so we decided to try and spend for higher quality items. Okay, so there were a number of problems with this welfare pack distribution. The main problem was really the number of packs. 1K packs we realized for Sem 2 this time is too high. We struggled to give out about, I think we only gave out, about 850 out of the 1K. We realized that the reception for welfare pack in Sem 2 wasn't as good for a few reasons that aren't just here. One reason is because by the time we gave out the welfare pack, right? Okay, NUSU gave us very little time to give out a welfare pack. They only gave us our items in about week 11 or week 12. So we could only distribute everything in week 13. And by week 13, I don't think anyone wants to come back to school anymore, because everyone wanted to just focus on your finals really. So that was we suspect that was the main reason for the poor reception. Then general feedback that we received is also people again wanted more items instead of better items. So the main conclusion we have is, okay, try and get less packs and try and get more mid-quality items so that everyone benefits in the end, right? So that's welfare pack in a nutshell. Okay, welfare night. This was our first event in Sem 2. This was the first event we actually left to PDs. So Desmond and Zhening took over for this one. The objectives of this one was mainly to provide a good opportunity for people to take a break in the midst of the semester, right? So make new friends or mingle with your old friends that you haven't gotten a chance to sit down with since SSC, stuff like that. And for this specific event, it felt as nice in the period of CNY, so we wanted to bring the festivities in as well. So the main draw of this event was the steamboat. Yeah. So for this event, right, this is the first time I've ever seen welfare for green net expenditure. So I'm quite happy. Yeah. So 200. The main expenditure for here came from buying the steamboat items, preparing the steamboat, and the main income came from sign-ups for the steamboat. So in the end, we did manage to make $1. Yay! Yeah. So the steamboat was actually really well received, surprisingly. Even though it was, was it on a Wednesday night? I think it was on a Wednesday night, but honestly, we were pleasantly surprised that a lot of people were quite interested in the steamboat. we realized that a lot of people actually came together with like the SSC groups or their power groups to go for the steamboat. So yeah, we can probably make use of this next time, I don't know. So it's a good call. This one was actually an idea by Desmond himself, so all credit goes to him. Yeah. Then participation rate. Generally, the participation rate was improved since the welfare night of last year. Last year was quite miserable, but this year the steamboat, I think, and really helped to bolster the participation rate and helped to distribute the. After the steamboat ended, everyone just sort of lingered and ventured into the other events that we had tonight. So it was good overall. Yeah. So that was welfare night. Then the last event that we completed recently was bread night. This one, again, the second event that we passed on to PDs to perform. So this one is handled by Donna and Matthew, who just left the room. So the objectives of this event is to provide graduating students with that last, one to celebrate their graduation and another to sort of have that so-called opportunity to gather together as a cohort for the last time before commencement. Right. So we also wanted to use this event to, introduce our graduating students to an alumni network, which is what the alumni relations cell was supposed to do last time for this event. So we took over from them, right? And hopefully this will give them a chance to give back to SOC once they started pursuing the careers, right? So the budget for this one, as expected, is one of the heaviest events that we've ever had. So 4.6K spent and 1.2K return. So the I think there were a lot of problems with this event. The participation rate wasn't that good because I don't think we had a lot of time for publicity. Usually, the feedback I received is usually for grad night, publicity will be done before school ends. So by week 13, we'll actually have a billboard outside the student lounge saying, hey, we have grad night, so make sure you sign up. But then this time because of a few factors, we didn't have the time to put up that billboard by the time school ended. So I think that led to quite a huge hit in the participation. So we need the next time we need to figure out a way to work around this. If we have tight time, how do we sort of spark interest in grad night, even though they're not in school anymore, right? Now the next one is time and cost. We really underestimated the time that we needed to plan for everything. So the source for the different performers, the source for an MC, everything. So this kind of led to more delays, and everything essentially snowballed. So the suggestion related to this is next time start planning way earlier. But I think for us it wasn't possible because PWP took up a lot of time. So there were a lot of problems there. And the team, we really didn't have enough people working on this. I think for grad night we only had 5 people. It was Donna, Matthew, Racia, Amanda, and I. Or was it Alicia? Yeah, Alicia, right? Yeah. So 6 people, Amanda was there in the background helping out, and I wish I could. So 6 people really isn't enough to plan for an event for an entire graduating cohort. So I think this is one of the main problems with the web itself as well, not enough manpower. So we couldn't invest enough people into planning for this event. So next time we suggest, have more people. Yeah, we say here 5, right? But that's like 5 besides the PDs themselves. So that was grad night in a nutshell. Yeah. So at the end of it, I'd like to thank. There are a few people I'd like to thank. First of all, I'd like to thank Ricia, my deputy, who's really been by my side for the entire run. She has tanked a lot, and I can't thank her enough. I'd like to thank Amanda, my ex-VP, who isn't here because she really helped us push for a lot. And I'd like to thank Alicia, Geraldine, for after Amanda stepped down, for taking over some of the events that she was in charge of. I'd like to thank Publicity and Marketing, because without them, really none of our events would be possible. Yeah, and my core team, those who have graduated like Ash, Donna, Zening, Vel, and so many names I can't remember. Yeah, so they're like really my right hand man, my 8-man right hand team. So without them, none of the events would have been possible as well. Yeah. So thank you so much, all of you as well, the 20th MC, for all of your support. Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Now we'll start the Q&A session for the welfare director. Any questions from the floor?
Yeah, Eugene Year 1 CS. I'm asking on behalf of Ling Jie and Alumni. So he asked, do you think the planning of grad night should continue to be done by welfare, or more specifically Com Club?
Yeah, this is actually one of my pain points, as much as I hate to admit it. For welfare, like I said, one of our main issues is really manpower. We don't have enough people, because people eventually start dropping out of the welfare subcom quite fast after the winter break. And on another hand, timing is also a disaster for us. For grad night, like I said, we want to start planning before the semester ends, so that we can push out Publicity by week 13. But at the same time, welfare also has to take charge of EWP, which is huge on its own, because we need to source for items, we need to plan the roster for packing, and we also need to distribute. So personally, I would believe that the welfare cell is not the best cell to handle grad night. I don't know if it makes sense for the entire Com Club to take over. Maybe it would be a better idea to have a separate team handling grad night like we did for Computing Day, and I think that will actually allow us to diverge our efforts better to make grad night more of a success.
Thank you, Ian. Any more questions from the floor?
Rebecca, IS Year 2. Okay, my question is, regardless of who's planning grad night, right? Looking at the decreasing number of participants, what's your thoughts on continuing this event, and what's your thought on this event in general? Yeah. Regardless of who's the planning committee.
Yeah, I didn't actually go for grad night myself because I was doing an internship at the time, so didn't get a chance to. But from what I've heard from those who did win, those who did go, and those who have gone in the past, I still believe that grad night is sort of an important event for people there, because even if the participation rate is low, it still serves as an opportunity, one, for networking. Networking with alumni is quite important. Building bonds with people who are graduating is still vital for the Com Club in general, because alumni really do provide like a whole new facet of opportunities for us. So if you didn't realize, Computing Day, we actually, some of the companies that came down, right, they actually invited our alumni to sort of link up with them in the sense that, okay, I can't remember which company it was. There was one company that actually two companies that sent ex-SOC students who understand us better. So it sort of allows SOC students to have a richer school life and more relevant job opportunities. But that's on the political side. On the personal side, grad night is like one of their last chances of getting together as a cohort. So even if not a lot of people go, maybe you don't need to abolish it, but maybe downscale it so that we can still provide, these graduating students that fun night that they deserve. It's like besides commencement, this is the other last fun event that you have in uni, so why deny them that? Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Any more questions from the floor? So now the 5 minutes has reached, so we will close the Q&A session now. So can I invite the next wing on stage? That would be the student life wing.
Give year 2 student the purpose of toilet break.
Anyone second?
Yeah, last year second.
Okay, toilet break, 5 minutes left.
Ayo, why you toilet break?
让我急啊！
Okay, maybe not 5 minutes, until 7:30. 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
没有下灯。
What?
But you want to be in it.
It's not sponsored.
One I have is white one.
It can't,
Oh shit.
it can't be found.
Oh
Can
yeah,
you mute?
it's live.
Can you mute it?
Can you mute audio?
Mute that one.
Get to your seat.
Poor connection again.
Hey.
Everyone sit down. We will now resume the annual general meeting, starting from the student life wing, student relations cell. Hi, I'm Xing Jie, the Director of Student Relations, and my deputy is Jeremy. So, the objective of our cell is to manage all feedback channels of the management community, such as the Facebook chat and the email, which is connect@nuscomputing.com. Yeah. And then we will keep a record of all the feedbacks by asking for surveys feedback, and will ensure that the management committee takes actions on the feedback. So basically, there are two major issues raised by the student population. First is that they are unsure if the survey results are analysed, and second, the students miss the deadline for the application on the locker, and they realize that they need a locker after the application period. So we propose two solutions for this. First, we publish the results in infographic done by the Publicity. Thank you. So we did it very nicely so that it's easy for them to understand, and they know that we have taken into account what
we have taken into account their feedback and publish it for them. And then for the locker issue, we open up the locker application throughout the whole semester so that they can apply as and when they want. So we have 3 initiatives this year. First is the opening up of locker application throughout the whole academic year. So students can apply anytime they want during the whole semester. And we propose an international student handbook for those international students that don't really know what NUS is about. It's still in progress because by the time we are done with the info, Publicity is still busy for us to help us finish up. So it's left with updating the new details and finishing up the design. Last is back to school with Milo Band. They didn't really sponsor us this time due to August being the peak period, so we hope that the next batch can continue for us. So we conducted 4 surveys these 2 semesters. First is the exam welfare packs survey for SEM 1 and SEM 2, followed by a winter workshop and camp server. This is how the infographics for the SEM 1 survey result look like. And this is how the infographic for the SEM 2 survey result look like. Thank you, Publicity. I would like to thank my deputy, Jeremy, for going through this journey with me. Okay, thank you so much for attending the survey analysis. And I'd like to thank my boss, Joel, for helping us so much, especially for the local applications. We wouldn't have done it without you. Thank you. Okay.
Now we'll start the Q&A session for the student relations cell. Any questions from the floor?
Base computer engineering year 2. Would like to ask about the Milo band that you're referring to. Yeah, like how would you like to go about it? Because like I saw that you face challenges because of you needed us early, right? But besides that, you also have to know that I think be prepared to go through like because you need to like book the area to have this like Milo band. So like what can you advise to your next
it was quite an impromptu thing. Like we just suddenly thought of it, so we didn't really plan it through. So we just write it there. Hopefully, the next director will be able to see it and follow through. But we will inform them that they have to book a venue, and maybe we can work with marketing to help us to find the Milo sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Any more questions from the floor? Okay, thank you, Cynthia. You're welcome, FOP Director Vanessa.
Firstly, I would like to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here for this AGM. So before I went for this position, I thought a lot about what I wanted to do in my term after having done FOP in my first year. So this year, FOP consists of 5 different projects, namely Freshman Social Camp, Freshman Orientation Week, Orientation Day, REC, as well as DASH. So throughout the entire year, we continue to manage past efforts as well as introduce new initiatives. So firstly, we canvass to raise funds for our various projects, especially for REC, since it's a project with no income. This year, we introduced an exclusive shirt only sold during the summer period. And secondly, the publicity for the projects this year. Our freshman orientation project website was the main form of publicity for the projects, because that is where the sign-up link is, and that is where the various details of the projects are included. And we also made use of our Facebook page to share updates like OGL's helpers and house age recruitment, as well as house introductions and teaser videos to get the freshmen excited about the events. This year, we brought back the SOC FOP Instagram account back to life and got a total of 553 followers after one summer. Instagram proved to be a very good platform to share about our events, as the seniors had also helped to share our posts, allowing more freshmen to be aware of our events. Also, the FOP committee took part in Open Day and set our own FOP booth during the 2 information sessions to promote FOP as well. We gave the incoming freshmen our FOP name card with all the dates of our events, as well as our social media platforms and set up a poster as well. Next, this is the timeline of all the events that we have organized for FOP. The first ever event for FOP 2018 is FSC, which was held from 10th to 13th June, with a total of 200 freshmen and 110 seniors. Next, we have REP, and this is our second year organizing it, which was held shortly after FSC. It was a 2-day event, and a total of 59 freshmen and 47 seniors participated in it. Right after REP, we had rec commencement, where the participants decided on which department they wanted to join for rec. In late July, we held Computing's biggest camp, possibly, with a total of 320 freshmen and 115 seniors. And due to the overwhelming sign-ups for camps, we organized an orientation day, which involved 176 freshmen and 44 seniors. Just 3 days ago, Rec Day was concluded, and we had a total of 91 freshmen and 39 seniors that participated in the summer long rec, giving us the Silver Award 2 years in a row. Our last event will be the upcoming bash, which is estimated to have a total of 483 participants, and which will be held at Zoom next Friday, so we hope to see you there. This year, I'm glad to announce that a total of 779 unique freshmen took part in our events. It consists of 69% of the cohort, which is a 4% increase from last year. This year, we opened the sign-ups a lot earlier than last year, which was in April 2018, and we made the camps mutually exclusive, allowing us to accommodate much more freshmen into the camps. Without these freshmen, our events would not have been so successful. So before I end off, I'd like to thank all those who made these events possible. Firstly, the various event committees and the project directors, vice project directors, for all the time and effort they have spent for planning the events. And thank you for complying so well with the numerous restrictions that OSA put on our events, but still be able to create a great experience for the freshmen. Next, I want to thank Publicity and Marketing for all the help they have given us. Thank you, Marketing, for looking for all the sponsors and making our shirts look filled with sponsor logos. And the Publicity team for helping us with all the pre-event, during event, and post-event publicity matters. Lastly, I want to thank my deputy, Francis, and my boss, Joel Sim, for dedicating the past year to FOP. Because without you guys, I probably would have died from the stress a long time ago. I'm really glad we worked so well together and enjoyed our time together. Thank you for going through this journey with me. And to the rest of the MC, it has been a great pleasure working with all of you. And to whoever who wants to run for the 21st MC, don't regret the things you didn't do. So if you wish to contribute back to computing and run for the 20th MC, just do it. Thank you.
Now we'll open up the Q&A session for FOP Director. Any questions from the floor?
Rebecca IS Year 3 proposed to close the Q&A.
Lawrence IS Year 2 second.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Now we'll invite the Vice President of Student Life on stage.
Good evening, students and fellow MC members. I'm Joel, the Vice President of Student Life, in short, VPSL, overseeing the Student Relations cells and the FOP cell. So for the SR cell, Student Relations, the main aim of this year is targeted to international students, as there were a high percentage of international students in SOC. The SR cell has prepared international handbook as mentioned by Xing Jie, which they hope can be continued by the next batch. So SR being a relatively new cell can achieve more, as their job scope is not limited to being just a bridge between the students and the class. As for the FOP cell, the project directors of every project have done a wonderful job in creating the best FOP experience for the freshmen as well as the seniors. With a strong team of dedicated members in each project, I'd like to thank their tremendous effort and dedication to the projects. Without the PDs and their team, we wouldn't be able to achieve much this year. So next, I'll cover the overall expenses to conclude the FOP. So all of our projects were in deficit, as you can see in the screen, due to the high operation costs, such as booking of MPSH for overnight stay as well as Sentosa booking, as well as subsidized camp fee for all OHH. However, we have our canvassing, which is selling of FOP shirts, and sponsorship sourced by FOP marketing team to cover all the deficits that were incurred. So overall, FOP cell has a surplus of $766.55. Finally, I would like to thank all advisors for their help in assisting the 20th Management Committee, constantly guiding us and giving us advisors in whatever that we do. I'd like to thank them for their time on top of their busy schedule to vet through and approve our proposals, especially Dr. Tan Wee, the advisors of Student Library. Next, I would like to thank the P-Cell members, Joel, Alicia, Kiwi, Amanda, Yushen, Qi for their time in approving the proposals, and of course all the fun time that we have the past year. I believe it was a tiring but fulfilling journey for all of us. Next, I would like to thank my 4 directors in Student Life Wing, Ben, Xing Jie, Francis, and Jeremy, for being part of my wing and going through this journey with me. Thanks Vanessa and Francis for being crazy and agreeing to go through another round of FOP with me. You were really crazy 1 year ago to do FOP again. If I was to send back in time, I would still choose to be the VPSL doing FOP again. It was really damn checked, but it was the both of them that made me not regret my choice. Next, I would like to thank Xing Jie and Jeremy for agreeing to take over the Student Relations cell, though you folks have no idea of what you guys agreed upon. I still remember 1 year ago when I approached Xing Jie, she told me that she had no idea what Student Relations was about. I hope now you know a little more. I also want to thank the 20th NC for being part of this journey with me. Thanks for the various forms of support in our events, and I hope you guys had fun in the NC just like I did. To conclude, I really enjoyed the time being in NC, being so occupied by the NC work that I almost forgot that I'm here in school to study. To my successor, don't be afraid to step up. It's true that VPSL or FOP can be the most shagged position to be in, but 1 year later, when you stand here and look back at what you have done, it will be very fulfilling, and I can guarantee you that you will have no regrets joining in the first place. Enjoy the process, and you will enjoy being in the NC. Good luck to everyone, and thank you.
Now we'll open up the Q&A session for the Vice President of Student Life. Any questions from the floor?
Rebecca, IS Year 3 proposed to close the Q&A session.
Year 4 seconds.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
Now we will invite the external relation wing on stage.
Okay, good evening everyone. I'm Kiwi, the VP for External Relations, and I will first give an introduction of the External Relations wing. Okay, so our wing consists of myself and the Publicity cell, Director Lawrence and the Deputy Director Rebecca. Followed by the marketing cell, Director Gervais, and followed by Deputies Kevin and Clarice. Okay, so the publicity and marketing cells will now present their various progress for throughout this whole year. And first off is the publicity cell. So I would like to invite the director Lawrence up to present on publicity.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lawrence, and I'm the Director of Publicity for Computing Club. So I'll be introducing the highlights of Publicity Cell's contributions to SOC over the past academic year. Firstly, I'll be talking about some of the new initiatives we've come up with. Since messages posted on Facebook and Instagram often get lost in the newsfeed, in order to increase our reach to the student body, we have decided to make use of Telegram as an announcement channel for Computing Club events. One motivation for students to continue following our announcement channel is that there is no sponsorship material posted on the channel, so they can be assured that spam will be limited as much as possible. This initiative is currently performing well, with 528 subscribers at the time of presentation creation, and today, 14 August, we have 589 subscribers, which is a good number to have, and we hope it will continue to grow. Another significant initiative is the usage of Flickr as the host for our photography coverage, which replaces Facebook as the official location to retrieve photographs. Uploading to Facebook was often a chore, as Facebook's upload process was causing failed uploads, and photos would be missed out, and valuable photos were lost. So additionally, Facebook's album implementation pales in comparison to the brilliant visuals and smooth loading times of Flickr. Flickr also offers photo statistics, which lets us know how many times people have actually viewed our photographs. Currently, we have a total of 1.5 million views as compared to the time of presentation creation, which is 1.4 million. Also, Flickr's short links are very short, and it's convenient to share links from Flickr directly without engaging a service such as tiny.cc to shorten the links for us. Next, I'd like to talk about the publicity materials that our cell has created for the various other cells. Continuing on the past workflow, we have requested that cells send us a publicity request form in order for us to ensure no miscommunication occurs, and we can get the details of their publicity materials right the first round. So this reduces the number of edits required. This process has allowed most posters to be produced without major issues, and the 21st MC is recommended to continue using this form during their term. The Publicity Cell has also worked on the freshman orientation projects, photography, video coverage, and production. We have produced over 20 videos and duly covered the various FOP camps, including Freshman Social Camp, Freshman Orientation Week, and REC Exposure Program. I'd like to express my gratitude to the FOP Publicity team, Gautam, the head of FOP Publicity, Kai Cheng, the assistant head of publicity, and the members of FOP Publicity, Mei Yan, Rebecca, Wei Li, Yan, Jialin, Yushen, Yongcheng, Jervis, Tianwei, Yishen, and Jingwei. I would also like to thank my publicity subcommittee for your continued support and tolerating my spam on the WhatsApp groups. Thank you all for the hard work during FOP. The Publicity Cell has also engaged an external vendor and SOC alumni, Zhikai, to conduct photography workshops for our subcommittee members. These members have taken the photos you see above on the slides. Overall, we have conducted four-hour sessions with a turnout of about 5 to 10 participants per session, and this includes outdoor shoots such as going to the iLight Festival at MBS. This was generally a good initiative, as the participants are indeed more confident about their photography abilities after the workshop and are more comfortable handling camera. The next publicity director can consider holding these workshops again. Lastly, I would like to talk about the Publicity Cell's equipment procurement. We have chosen to purchase a mobile phone gimbal, which is a video stabilizer you may have seen us use during the various freshman camps. So attaching a mobile phone to this stabilizer allows for the creation of smooth, almost cinematic videos, and greatly increases our capabilities to produce quality videos. We have also chosen to purchase an external flash unit to replace one of the old ones that has to be retired due to wear and tear. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my Deputy Director Rebecca and my Vice President Henry for the support throughout the year. Thank you.
Now I'll open up the Q&A session for the publicity cell. Any questions from the floor?
Can we hear 3IS propose to close the Q&A session?
Ian, yes, seconds.
Thank you, Lauren. Next, we will invite the marketing director, Gervais, on stage.
Yes, good. Go, Gervais.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gervais, the Director of Marketing for 20th MC. And thank you for everyone for taking your time to participate in this annual general meeting. So I would like to start off with what marketing does. So before I go down into the details, I would like to say that marketing is the main cell which supports various NUS community club events by running the activities provide substantial financial support. So we support events mainly from, during our term, we managed to work very closely with sports cell, community service cell, welfare, academic cell, and we are also looking into more opportunities to work closely with the student life cell and also the IT cell. And we hope that because this year we came up with an initiative of having a sponsorship request form for your events so that we can better cater to your requests. Okay, next please. Okay, so this is the cell budget breakdown for marketing. So we started off, after Hui Qi, the previous marketing director, passed down to us. We started off with this SOC Blast, Bazaar 2017. So this event was, the expenses made was $278.80, and the revenue was 2,721 because of the vendors and also mainly due to the vendors mainly due to the vendors from that participated in our bazaar. So following, next we have the Halloween merchandise sales. We'd like to thank the welfare cell for having us in their event to hold these merchandise sales, and the revenue is 4,000 as follows. So next, we also like to emphasize on the Alumni Homecoming merchandise sale. Although the revenue earned was 167 as seen above, we are grateful that they also invited us down to this merchandise sale, and so that we can sell the shirts to the alumni who may have missed the previous sales. Next, for Computing Day 2018, since this year is the 20th anniversary of computing, we have made $5,341 just mainly on the merchandises. And also, next, we have the partner sponsorships from various companies. This amount that you see over here, 5,251, is mainly made from, is earned from the sponsors, the long-term sponsors that supported computing as a whole, and namely Greens, Happy, and Credence. And also for Valentine's Day 2018, the expenses were spent mostly on our decorations and candies. So we made a revenue of $687.50. Definitely, based on this figure, as you can see,
they are also expenses that we have to make purchase first, which is the expenses, which is 6,000. When we buy this shirt at cost price, then we sell it during the various merchandise sales. So in overall, the total expenses made for marketing was $7,676.50, but we made a revenue of $18,196. So our total income of marketing is $10,520. Okay, so as I mentioned previously, that marketing supports the various sales and their various events. We also have two main events that marketing organized. So firstly, this event was held during November last year. Not very sure if most of you heard about Bazaar 2017, but this was a 3-day bazaar organized by already planned by the previous marketing director Hui Qi, and it's Mindy, and where external vendors set up their stores to sell various items. So it was targeted at the NUS student population, some at public, since it was held at University Town. So the response was well received by the public and students and staff who were around University Town, and most vendors were satisfied with their sales too. However, the challenges faced for the bazaar was the reservation of the location at University Town, which includes the securing of the number of vendors and logistics. And due to the planning phase, we faced a lot of challenges, like having to approve of the floor plan, having a wet weather plan, having to fill out this TPA form, which is for the University Town management, and also the permission form for contractors. And we also had to take into account of setting up tables and chairs the night before the bazaar, which requires a lot of manpower also. And also challenges faced were mainly to collect the rent personally on the first day, since we didn't want vendors to back out. And luckily we implemented this $50 deposit so that vendors will have to turn up on the first day of the bazaar. So, however, since as I mentioned, there were a lot of challenges faced during the planning phase of this bazaar, marketing has decided to discontinue the bazaar for the future years. So we will not advise the next marketing director to organize this bazaar. Next, we have Love Bites 2018. So this is another major event that marketing has organized. So what is Love Bites? Love Bites is for Valentine's Day. So it provides an avenue for staff and students to have fun amidst the stressful school term, since it's around February, every 14th February. So through this day, we actually plan to have a mini bazaar which consists of candy bar sales, flowers, and having photo booths where students and staff can enjoy. And besides that, we also use this opportunity to set up merchandise sales. And it's mainly targeted at the SOC student population, staff, and public who's passing by. So the response, it was well received by students and staff. Flowers, candies, and brownies were all sold out. The good points about this event was the accounting of leftover stock was done efficiently. Everyone was very helpful in the setup and tear down. And proper accounting of the revenue for the day was done promptly right after the event, so that we do not have any errors in the accounting. And also, all the candies that we bought were all sold. However, there was leftover jars that we didn't manage to sell, but we managed to refund them at IKEA, which actually reduced our expenses. So, however, what we thought we could improve on was there was no debrief given to the sub-community, and although there was deemed not to have a debrief, we thought that actually it should, if we did a debrief, there will be people that will actually come down to help and also and to better manage the roster of the merchandise sales. Yeah. So, and we also thought that we could increase the budget for the candy, or if the next marketing director would like to have food sales, we also advise like brownies and candies. But because there are costs to it, we also hope that the amount that you purchase is will be able to sell everything, so that there is no loss in this event. Okay. So next, I would like to move on to talk about marketing involvement. So as previously I mentioned that we work very well with like the welfare cell and also like community service cell. So we always try to leverage on their events to set up merchandise booths, so that because since their events are targeted to the SOC population, we also hope that through their events we can actually earn revenue from there. So as you can see above, we were involved in a computing day and also like Halloween celebrations, which is under the respective cells in NUS Computing Club. Next, please. So for sponsors and booths talk, we also managed to be involved in the exam welfare pack giveaway. So as you can see on the left, it was one of our sponsors came down to actually give out churros to our students, and it actually attracted a lot of crowd. So since it benefits the students, it also actually benefits the sponsors themselves. So definitely we'll encourage the next marketing committee to actually work very closely and liaise with the rest, with sponsors, with more sponsors, so that both the students and our partners can benefit from working together. And next, we have freshman orientation projects also. We are very pleased to have the student life cell to actually involve us in this, so that we can also meet our main target that we started off as marketing to provide substantial financial support to most of the cells in the respective in NUS Computing Club. So since the freshman orientation projects had the most of the sponsors were attracted to the target audience that freshman orientation projects have, we use this opportunity to let them have booths or even talks, and also like this is a place where they can actually engage with their target audience, and which was beneficial to both the NUS Computing Club and our various partners. Next, please. So, for marketing, right? Since we handle both the merchandise and sponsorships, we have upcoming initiatives. So on the left, you can see a new style of computing varsity shirts. So the current varsity shirts are, of course, very presentable, and also it's very well received. There are a lot of people who still want to get the varsity shirts, but definitely we also want to attract our incoming the new batch of people, and also maybe to our alumni and the current undergraduates to be more aware of marketing, that they sell all these merchandises. So these two products, as you can see over here, are upcoming initiatives that we hope will be more recognized as a marketing merchandise sales. Yes. Okay. Next, please. Okay, so since I've covered the merchandise part of marketing, I will now cover the sponsorship side of marketing. So we work closely with the organizing cells in NUS Computing Club. So firstly, it will be the welfare cell, which we supported them in exam welfare pack semester 1 and 2 for 2017 and academic years 2017 and 18 giveaway. So as you can see, these are the sponsors. Following that is Computing Day, which is SOC's 20th anniversary, and our own event, Love Bites Valentine's Day 2018, and Sports Cell, which is for their sports camp. These are the sponsors that you can see. Next is the major freshman orientation projects. We have actually, with the help of our and also Academic Day 2018, Interfaculty Games, and Charity Run, respectively. So thanks to our long-term sponsors, we are also glad to have them and actually benefit the NUS Computing. So in conclusion, as a marketing cell, we managed to achieve most of the goals planned throughout the academic year in terms of merchandise and sponsorships. We managed to liaise and collab with many sponsors who provided cash and item sponsorship. And so I would like to take this opportunity to thank my Vice President Ken Wee, who is Firstly, I would like to thank my Vice President of External Relations, Ken Wee, for always taking time out to patiently read through our event proposal and proactively supporting us in overseeing and managing both the sponsorship and merchandise portion, and also always giving us constructive feedback. Next, I would like to extend my extra thanks to my two deputy directors, Clarice and Kevin, for agreeing to be my deputies in merchandise and sponsorship respectively. Without both of you, I will never be able to run this alone. And also, they really helped me whenever I needed their help, and they also professionally carry out their duties really well despite their other commitments, and I'm really very grateful for that. Thank you. And also, I would like to extend my thanks to Xavier, our Freshman Orientation Projects Marketing Head, who assisted and sourced all the Freshman Orientation Project sponsors with me, and also to Vanessa and Joel Sim for liaising with us, working well with us, and supporting us whenever we had any queries on your projects. And also, I would like to thank the entire 20th MC for giving us your really supporting us well with all our requests. And I'm really honored to work with this team that I could trust and depend on, and nevertheless, everyone did an excellent job throughout this whole journey. So, and also special thanks to the Director of Publicity and Deputy Director Lawrence and Rebecca, because for their continuous efforts and support in all our publicity requests. In external relations, we really need all of your support in this whole management committee, and so they really gave us a lot of support in all our publicity requests, and we really would like to extend our thanks to them. And nevertheless, to our staff community members who had time and again found time amidst all your busy schedules to provide us with manpower support during our events, such as Valentine's Day and many of our merchandises booth sales. So, thank you to everyone who has helped link up the marketing cell with potential partners and sponsors through any form of contacts, and especially to our previous 19 and 18 marketing directors, Mindy and Hui Qi, respectively. Although it was such a small and simple gesture, it has really played a huge role in helping me, Clarice, and Kevin to really manage the 20th marketing cell. Thank you.
Now we'll open up the Q&A session for marketing cell. Any questions from the floor?
Joel, year 2 CS. So after working 1 year with 2 deputies, do you think 2 deputies is necessary, or is 1 deputy enough, and would it be better?
Personally, I think that the next marketing director can choose to have can follow what I have 2 deputy directors also, because in a way merchandise and sponsorship is 2 different things. So I definitely think that because with these 2 different like in a way I respect like what they choose to do, and also like whenever they take the initiative, I think that the marketing director will have a better stand on which side to go with, like which side is benefits the NUS Community Club as a whole. So when there's two deputy directors handling 2 different things, it will be better to manage and oversee these 2 respectively.
Thank you, Gervais. Any more questions from the floor?
Rebecca, IS year 3, seconds.
Thank you, Gervais.
Thank you.
Now we'll invite the Vice President of External Relations, Kenny, on stage.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm back. Okay, so I just have a few closing remarks to make. I guess to sum up my whole term, and as well as the whole term of the 20th MC, it has been yet another busy year for the external relations wing. Even more so with the increasing intake of students year on year. And we had to do more to make sure the students are well aware of our events and to raise more funds to run said events as well. So it is a constant reminder of how vitally important publicity and marketing are for the club. At the end of the day, seeing the students' smiles after receiving their exam welfare packs, as well as the freshmen enjoying their orientation camps planned by the magnificent FOP committee, without being overly constrained by the budget, and the beautiful photos and video montage afterward makes all the work worthwhile. And I would like to acknowledge the many people who have contributed into making this year a successful one. And I would like to thank the following people. First off, I would like to thank the publicity and marketing cells for their invaluable contributions to the competing club in making sure our events are well publicized and well supported financially. Specifically, the directors of publicity, Lawrence and Rebecca, and the directors of marketing, Gervais, Kevin, and Clarice, who have given their all into making our term a hugely successful one. I'm proud to be part of such a bonded and driven team that I could count on to deliver. Apart from my wing, I would also like to thank the President, Joel Lim, and fellow Vice Presidents Joel Sim, Elisha, and Amanda for their countless advice and feedback on proposals, and all other cells of the competing club for their tireless efforts and contributions through their respective roles to bring colour into the school life of the competing students. Finally, I would like to thank the staff advisors of the school for their immeasurable support towards competing club's events, especially Ms. Adele for approving our proposals and publicity materials. It has been a great pleasure working with all of you. Thank you.
Now we will start the Q&A session for the Vice President of External Relations. Any questions from the floor?
Lawrence, year 2, IS proposed to close the Q&A session.
Rebecca, IS year 3, seconds.
Thank you, Kemi.
Thank you.
Now we will invite the last wing on stage,
Hi everyone, I'm Eugene, year 2 CS, and I'm the IT director for the 20th MC. So I'm going to present on what we have done throughout the year. Next slide, please. And next slide, please. Alright, so here are the responsibilities of the IT cell. Right. Generally, it's to generate ideas and projects that assist the club for using the use of IT. We also have to meet the technical needs of the competing club MC members, nurture technology professionals out of the computing club, and remain alert and swiftly react to operational faults, and also to ensure ownership of the domain, and also to maintain backups of our source code, just in case. Right. Next slide, please. Alright, so here are some of the things that we have done throughout the year. At the start of the year, we actually organized a boot camp for new members. So it involves just some basic tutorial to HTML, CSS, web dev in general, and how to use Git in general. Turns out that we are hoping that after the members go through all these workshops, they will be prone to help out more in our events, but in our projects, but it's not clearly the case. So for the next IT director, we actually, you might want to consider doing this or not. We don't really see a good, huge result of doing this, so that's one thing to consider. Next. So our website has gone through 2 revamps. So the first revamp was at the start of the year. So it's a single page website with some pretty elegant template. But we decided to create our own theme for our second website, and we also add in a lot more information. There are some guides that are written by Joel, and there are more photos on it, right? So it's generally more informative than the previous website. Yeah, next. We are also there to provide some IT supports for the MC members. In particular, we actually have to respond to their queries on email creations, email blasting, and some other ad hoc IT faults, I guess. So that's that. Next slide, please. So for Apple, we also developed like a bot to keep track of their scores. Source code is available on our GitHub, so you could check it out. Next slide, please. We also create prototypes for various of the club-related stuff. So I think there is one of our members, or 2 of our members actually created a bot to keep track of the, what is that?
Surveys.
Yeah, to keep track of surveys, right, pool results. Then we also have a recent project which lists down all the module Telegram chats that you can access. You can access that through mockchat.nuscomputing.com. Yeah. Also GitHub source code if you need. Right. Next slide, please. We also migrated all our pages, static pages, into GitHub page. So previously we used the school server and hold our site through Nginx, which is actually an unnecessary layer. So we actually removed that. All our static sites are now on GitHub page. Yeah, next please. So, and here and there's some code bases you have to manage. There's not much anymore after the static sites has been changed to being posted on the GitHub page. Other than that, other source code, yeah, I think there's not much about this, right? Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, so I'll show you our organization. So it's actually quite straightforward. There are secretary, that's me, and there's the assistant secretary, which is Shishin. And then our team is split into 2 teams, the support team and the development team. So I'd like to thank all these members to help out on contributing throughout the year. Next. So our spending is pretty simple. We just need to renew the domain, $20. Not much to that. So some final comments maybe is that we realized that maybe as a director, I have not done a very good job in trying to delegate the jobs as well. So it ends up that a lot of members that originally signed up did not actually contribute much, right? So it is partly our fault. So I hope that the next IT director will actually, engage the other members a little bit more. So that's all from my slides. Thank you very much. This
Thank you, now we'll start the Q&A session for the IT director. Any questions from the floor?
子轩 Year 4 CS proposed to close the Q&A.
Thank you, Yuki. Next, we will invite the Finance Secretary on stage.
Finance Secretary of the 20th NC, and I'm making this presentation on behalf of my boss, Jason, aka Joseph Schooling, for some unforeseen circumstances. So some of you may ask, what do these two people from Finance Cell actually do? At the start of our term of office, we did the budget planning with the various cells, and throughout the rest of the year, we processed the deposition of the income and process payment to vendors and reimbursement to students. A lot of which involved a lot of liaising with the Office of Financial Services and the various cells, especially when payments cannot be processed successfully without further clarification. And I'm sure many of you will ask at some point in time for more details by either me or Jason in order for you to get your money back. Something we did differently this year is that we created a Google Sheets document which is updated each time payment is processed or income is deposited. And this is shared with the various VPs and Joel so that they can keep track of their expenditure and revenue and ensure that it is within the budget plan at the beginning. To end off, this graph shows the overall breakdown of the projected and actual income and expenditure for the various cells. Although this only reflects payments successfully processed as of 30th June, for the incoming reimbursements and income, especially from the FOP recently, we will see more money in than money out. And so I'm happy to say that we are still overall in the green. Thank you.
Thank you, Shereen. Now we will start the Q&A session for the finance cell. Any questions from the floor?
Jason, year 2 DA proposed to close.
Maybe year 3 IS again.
Thank you, Shereen. The General Secretary. So, good evening everyone, I'm Vishen, the General Secretary of 20th Management Committee. And this is my Assistant Secretary, Qi-Sang. Yeah.
Who is boss?
So now I'll introduce my key responsibilities as the General Secretary for this academic year. So the first one will be conducting all meetings and keeping minutes. This is my main role. So I'm responsible to make sure all meetings end on time, so everyone can go home and rest. That's one thing. The second thing is to keep the minutes so people can keep track of what they should do and remember what we have done in the meetings. Next will be submitting at management committee meetings any matter for discussion received from the members of the club, which didn't happen. The next one, preparing an annual report for the club for presentation to members, which refers to the annual general report. So I'm in charge of it, therefore I have submitted a timeline for every director to submit their content to me. Next, accepting the resignation of any members from the MC
and fill the position accordingly, according to the constitution of the club. Second, lastly, I am supposed to take disciplinary action against members who violate the constitution of the club, which is good that I didn't do anything about it. Lastly, I'm responsible for the management of the club group. So, as the General Secretary, I don't have any income to show, so just some statistics from me. We have conducted 3 MC meetings, mainly the first one for the co-opting of the deputies into the management committee. The second one would be in the middle of the academic year to update all the cells to make sure everyone's on the same picture for the rest of the year. And the last one would be close to the end of previous semester to update everyone on election matters. There's only one general meeting held, which is the one today. I was expecting to do more, but yeah. So last one is we have 14 PISA meetings, which is only 2 PISA meetings less than previous committee. So thank you. Next one, please. So a few reflections from me. First thing is me and Chisang actually wanted to cover every PISA meeting, making sure that the PISA can discuss their matters without worrying that the minutes is not taken. However, we were not able to cover one that was happening during the summertime. I was overseas and Chisang was busy with his work. So what I did was I WhatsApp called my president throughout the meeting. Yes. So next one, the vice president internal, which is Amanda. She has resigned close to the end of the term due to her transfer to the overseas university. So since the term is ending, there's not much workload considered for her wing. So what we did is to redistribute her workload to the rest of the vice presidents instead of internally electing one of the directors from her wing. Thirdly, Chisang actually came up with this initiative to conduct angels and mortals regularly as well as birthday celebrations. We tried to do it every month, but we didn't get to do it. So at least 3 months a celebration, which another will be done today. Yeah. So we hope that this will be able to bond the MC more. So you're not just here to work, but to have fun as well. Next, I did not really manage to keep the club room clean for the summer because I was away and there are a lot of orientation camps happening and they require the club room. Lastly, me and Chisang actually tried our best to be involved in every cell. Okay, not really every cell, but we tried our best to help out. So me and Chisang actually joined some of the subcoms in general. Yeah, so that's from me. I would like to thank everyone who supported me throughout this journey, especially Chisang being agreeing to be my deputy and actually helped me in one way or another. Thank you. So my Q&A session starts now. Any questions from the floor?
Year 4 CS proposing close the Q&A.
Joe, year 2 CS seconds.
Thank you. Next, we will invite the president on stage.
Very good evening to everyone here, and thank you for taking time off to attend the annual general meeting of the 20th Management Committee. I know it's been a long night. I hope you just bear me for a few more minutes. So I'm Joel, the president of the 20th MC. So before I move on, I'd like to thank all my management committee members and sub-committee members for sacrificing their personal leisure, time with family and friends, and even some of your grades and relationship for SOC students and computing club to make the past year possible. So I'll first be covering the highlights we did at the computing club level, especially any new initiatives or projects, refraining from repeating what the cells have covered. So starting with computing day, it was initially planned to be at the start of every semester 1, but was changed by the 19th MC to be held at the start of semester 2 to accommodate manpower constraints. So we brought it back again this year, planned by a committee formed by all our PCL members, Yushen, Joel Sim, Kenry, Asia, Amanda, and myself. So it was held on 7th February this year, and with an expenditure of approximately $6,000. But all funding was fully funded by SOC Student Life as part of the 20th anniversary celebrations. So I would say it was a success overall, but the next committee planning should just take note that to refrain from planning on a day that clashes with major lectures, as it will really hurt attendance. So next, in light of SOC's 20th anniversary celebrations, I also set up a 20th anniversary committee headed by Beatrice and Ian Jajono, tasked to shoulder the responsibility of all events relating to the 20th anniversary celebrations, homecoming, charity run, and the gala dinner. So with the burden of the charity run's responsibility being shouldered by the school away from the home service cell, so Beatrice, Elisha, and I work closely with the SOC staff to co-plan this year's charity run, with Com Club being in charge of the concept of the run, logistical support from Sports Club and OSA, and also the manpower needs, while the school took charge mostly of the finance, admin, publicity, marketing, and safety issues. So on this note, if you'd like to do your part for the less fortunate, please sign up for SOC first ever charity run happening on the 22nd of September this year. So in addition, Joel Sim's initiation to further revamp our website 2 months ago synced with my wish to centralize all computing club web pages, and we began a major website overhaul with my IT secretary Eugene providing the design and coding, me writing the majority of the content, and working closely with Joel for feedbacks and co-planning together. So from our website, we've only a list of our past events and photos of our incumbent management committee. We successfully revamped it to include a proper introduction of our club, including our constitution and committee members, with the relevant documents attached, services and how to make use of them, and relevant guides such as SU Guide, FAQs for DDP students, introduction to overseas opportunities such as SEP, NOC, winter schools, with all the relevant links a student will need attached. We also link our FOP site, Publicity Flickr site, and merchandise ordering form into a web page for further centralization. And we also deleted the CAT site as it wasn't serving much purpose. So from here, we ideally like to have a carousel for a list of all our past events, slowly matching the themes for all our sites for greater centralization and further fine-tuning of the website. So moving on, noticing a several problem with the turnout of many of our events, we also got SR to do a very comprehensive EWP survey that seeks the feedback of students for every single event that we have done thus far in EWP2. And they've accordingly done up analysis of the 884 participants as well. Though due to the lack of time, we might not have enough time to be able to act on these results during our term, I believe the results are available and will recommend the 21st MC to take a look at them before planning their events. So more informed decision can be made whether to script certain events, pump more budget into certain events, and tackle the problem where it actually is. So on this note, I'd like to apologize and accept responsibility for 2 of our events which incurred huge deficits, which is Sports Camp and Grad Night. Largely because of a less than ideal lead time from the start of the planning to the execution. So at this point, I also like to explain why my decision of why to continue Grad Night even though it was very last minute. So if it was any other event and it was so last minute with this huge amount of projected deficit, I will probably support the idea to scrape it. But personally, I feel that because it's Grad Night, it is any computing student's last event that they can participate in SOC and their last chance to have an event with their friends. So I thought that if we cancel it, the disappointment felt from the few students who sign up will be much greater than if we cancel any other normal events, which is why I decided to continue Grad Night. So my recommendation next year will be to closely oversee these 2 events to ensure planning them early, and for Sports Camp to even consider moving them away to another date. Lastly, this year we also formed a group partnership with NUS Business Case Consulting Group organizing a NUS Bank of China Hackathon that will be held on 21st September this year when they approach us for help. So hopefully we can continue this as an annual event and further strengthen our relations with our closest faculty neighbour. So next I will cover the highlights at the NUSU and C-Cube level. So let me first briefly cover some orientation updates. So the previous MC and NUSU secured a subsidy of 25% for OSA this year, but after strong pressuring with C-Cube and NUSU, we managed to secure a further 50% subsidy for this year. And I'd also like to thank Prof. Gary and Adele for helping us quite substantially financially for FOPs. On a more positive note, on the accommodation regulation, as duly recognized by Joachim also, is that with the requirement to stay at NPSH, our camp sizes will no longer be restricted by the size of our venues to sleep. And with sufficient committee members and OGLs, hopefully we will be able to expand our camps big enough to accommodate all freshmen coming to SOC, made all the more pertinent by the fact that our intake is steadily increasing to over 1,000 students this year, up from last year's 670. Nevertheless, I feel we should continue to fight for this for our freshmen and students and engage in discussions with OSA as long as we continue believing that the accommodation is not necessary. So with CQ and NUSU, we also finally got to embark on a proper constitution review exercise that started almost half a decade ago. They involved OSA, NUS Legal Office, and Alumni and Hill Law Firm. So I managed to point out several issues such as the date of the stipulated AGMs, fixed roles of the clubs in the constitution that allow for little flexibility, and successfully fought to allow greater option in the event of a resignation, and to reduce the quorum for all general meetings for all clubs from 100 members to 50 members for practicality's sake. So after holding a number of meetings and presenting to the Board of Trustees, I'm glad to announce that all proposed changes are approved and a clean-up, legally binding new constitution will be ready soon, once the lawyers are ready. So through this exercise, I also got to know of the rules and regulation document which each club should supposedly have, but as of now, we do not yet. So this will be the last thing that I'll be completing before stepping down from the 20th MC. So some brief changes will include invalidating the ESO and absorbing its content into the rules and regulation document, with certain nuances changed, re-specifying the rules from the Constitution, adding disciplinary clauses, and any other matters not included in the Constitution. So another area I tried to raise multiple times to CQ was the notion, and even the school expo, was the notion of providing management committee members with modular credits. The rationale being that soft skills, as emphasized a lot by the current NUS president, acquired by members are just as valuable, if not more than the hard skills learned and the internship experience. But sadly, I have to announce that the response I got was nowhere near positive. But I believe that it is a matter of time before the school and society finally realize the importance of this and will be readier to implement this. So now I'll just provide some routine updates on the past events that carry over to my term. So student lounge renovation. So this was a project initiated by the 18th MC, and I'm happy to announce that it is finally completed, and I would like to thank Dylan and those that helped the project for this. Secondly will be the demolishing of the COM2 bus stop. So this idea has been temporarily shelved by university campus infrastructure, and so competing students can rest assured that they will continue to enjoy the bus stop at COM2. So for this, I'd like to thank Benjamin, the previous president, for exerting sufficient pressure on UCI that probably led to this current decision. So this year we also had an issue regarding the rerouting of shuttle buses away from CLB to serve the Japanese school bus stop behind engineering in U-Town, to provide engineering students greater access to eating places at U-Town because of the renovation of Techno Age. So together with the presidents from the affected faculties and Priscilla from UCI, we managed to conclude that it will be the detriment to our students using the bus stop at CLB will more than outweigh the benefits provided to engine students, and hence prevented the rerouting of the internal shuttle bus D1. In terms of maintaining relations with all our stakeholders, I would say we maintain rather good relations with all partners, such as OSA. Also continue our close and good relations with NUSU and CQ as competing traditionally has, and was also a facilitator helping out in their student leaders camp. Thanks also to the 20th anniversary celebrations. We are working ever more closely with SOC's Student Life Office and even SOC's Corporate Relation Office, which we traditionally do not work with, and I hope this relation will only improve in the future. So personally, throughout my term, I strive to uphold and improve the image of our club whenever I had the chance and opportunities to represent the club and influence others. I did my best to come up with ways that will appeal to others best, be most beneficial and most impactful, and not merely going through the motion or boringly explaining what I had to. And on this similar note, I would also like to thank FSC and FAO once again for planning such great camps that they were actually great feedbacks that they were much better than other faculty and other hall camps. And hopefully this will be the start of something radical, a very radical change for the image of School of Computing in the years to come. So on a daily basis, I also took note to ensure that every decision was made in the best interest of our students, and I made the effort to read every proposal and comment to the best of my abilities to cover every base to ensure that every event will be as successful as possible. So overall, I'm very thankful to be blessed with such a capable and dedicated 20th MC who came up with lots of new initiatives as all of you have heard earlier, and especially my PCL for being so cooperative, tolerating, and being ever so patient with me. From Vanessa worrying 24/7 about FOP, to Lawrence with his intense dedication churning up posters with all the videos, to the skilled IT cell who's always volunteering to help, Rui Jia thanking so much, and marketing with the amazing year that manifested in FOP singlets having so many sponsors logos, something company has never seen before. I wouldn't have done this any other way. And special mention, I also like to especially thank Alicia for agreeing to get into this with me 1 year ago, and Joel Sim for helping me so much with tons of initiative and his camp experience. And I think both of them got the biggest present of running this 20th management committee. So I believe it has been an extremely tiring year this past MC for the 20th management committee members, and I hope it was an equally fulfilling, if not more fulfilling and enriching journey in past year. Making new friends, doing projects, giving back, discovering yourself, learning and growing. And at this juncture, I would also like to take this opportunity to apologize if I did not engage or want the 20th MC enough, for any mistakes I committed, less than ideal decisions made, or if I had offended you in one way or another. So from here on, I think computing will only get stronger with our stronger impact and the digital age. And we and the future batches must be ones to make it happen. So if you feel you can succeed us and take up the mantle, feel free to contact any of us. So with that, I want to thank the 20th MC, all the PDs and subcommittee members for walking this journey with me. And it will be soon time for us to have more time for ourselves, our studies, to be a better son, daughter, boyfriend or girlfriend, because of all the time you sacrifice for the club. I wish all the nominees for the 21st MC all the best. I wish the 20th MC all the best in their upcoming semester. And since today is 14 August, I also wish Ian happy birthday. So thank you very much. That's all I have. Is there any questions? Okay, if not, the AGM for 2018 Com Club has come to an end, and I thank all of you for taking this time to join us in this AGM. So thank you.